On a crisp spring morning, the sun rose from behind the mountains, casting its golden rays across the landscape. In a small house nestled beneath lush green trees, a boy named Zhu Xi sat at his study desk. In front of him lay a classic Confucian text, but his eyes wandered out the window. Birds chirped melodiously, and the distant sound of a bubbling brook echoed through the air, tempting him to leave his studies. Zhu Xi sighed and closed the book. The characters on the page seemed to dance and evade his comprehension. Frustrated, he muttered to himself, "I must not be smart enough to grasp this. Maybe studying just isn't for me." With that thought, he stood and walked out. He wandered aimlessly, his feet taking him to a small forest behind his house. Beneath the cool shade of the trees, he strolled deeper into the woods, letting the scent of foliage and the songs of birds soothe his restless mind. As he walked, he heard the gentle sound of flowing water. The soothing melody of the brook drew him in, leading him to a small stream that trickled over rocks along a mountain slope. Zhu Xi sat by the water, his curious eyes following the crystalline flow as it danced around smooth stones. The cool mist from the brook brushed against his face, but his attention was soon caught by something peculiar, a large rock beneath the stream. The surface of the rock bore deep, rounded grooves, as though someone had carved into it with a chisel. "How strange," Zhu Xi murmured, running his fingers over the grooves. They were smooth and precise, their depth impossible to ignore. He looked upward and noticed droplets of water falling steadily from above, each one striking the rock below. Fascinated, he sat silently, observing. The droplets, small and soft, lacked the force of a rushing river. Yet, as they fell in a steady rhythm, they had etched deep marks into the solid stone over time. Zhu Xi's mind raced with thoughts. "This rock is so hard," he mused. "And yet, these gentle droplets have worn it down, not because they are strong, but because they never stop." Suddenly, clarity dawned on him, like sunlight breaking through a dense fog of despair. If even water, so weak, can carve into stone through persistence, then why can't I overcome my challenges in learning, he thought. The realization lit a spark in his heart. His failures, he now understood, stemmed not from a lack of intelligence but from his impatience and lack of perseverance. Filled with newfound resolve, Zhu Xi stood up. The image of the falling water stayed etched in his mind as he made his way back home. From that day forward, Zhu Xi's approach to his studies changed. He no longer shied away from difficult lessons or abandoned his efforts at the first sign of frustration. He divided his studies into smaller tasks, tackling them one by one with focus and determination. His efforts mirrored the patient rhythm of the droplets wearing down the stone. The transformation wasn't immediate, nor was it easy. There were days when he felt exhausted, his mind tempted to revert to old habits. But each time those doubts crept in, the image of water on rock reappeared, reminding him that persistence held the key to success. Weeks turned into months, and Zhu Xi's hard work began to pay off. Once labeled inattentive and lazy, he now stood out as a model student, his progress undeniable. Teachers and peers alike marveled at his growing aptitude. But what truly set him apart was his ability to think deeply and persistently, unraveling even the most complex of problems. As the years went by, Zhu Xi's dedication propelled him further. He became a renowned scholar, delving deeply into Confucian philosophy and contributing significantly to its study and interpretation. His writings illuminated the teachings of Confucius and Mencius, making them accessible and meaningful to future generations. He earned widespread respect not only for his intellect, but also for the unyielding spirit that had driven his journey. Many years later, Zhu Xi, now a celebrated philosopher, revisited the mountain stream that had inspired him. The familiar rock still lay beneath the stream, its grooves deeper and more pronounced than ever. He stood there in quiet contemplation, the gentle trickle of water filling the air. With a smile, he murmured, "These droplets, small and weak, yet unyielding, taught me the greatest lesson of my life." Zhu Xi often recounted this story to his students, many of whom struggled with their own doubts and frustrations. "Knowledge is like this rock," he would say, "and our efforts are like the water. Each droplet seems insignificant, but with time and persistence, they shape even the hardest stone." Success does not come from fleeting bursts of strength, but from steady, unwavering effort. The tale of Zhu Xi and the water on the rock serves as more than a personal anecdote. It is a timeless lesson for all. It reminds us that life's challenges, no matter how daunting, can be overcome with patience and determination. Like the gentle droplets carving into stone, even the smallest efforts, when sustained over time, can lead to extraordinary achievements. And so, the legacy of Zhu Xi endures, not just in his philosophical contributions, but in the enduring wisdom of his story. It teaches us that success is not about immediate results, but about the quiet power of persistence, proving that with dedication, there are no limits to what we can achieve.